friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Amy. Today I am doing a custom journal spread for my patron Tiffany, and she has requested something super playful. She suggested maybe the hot air balloons that I created a long time ago, and perhaps a window in the spread, and she wants it to be sunny and bright and just fun. This is the journal she picked out. It is from Tiffany. So let's go through all the supplies I found and take a look at the journal, and then we'll get started. Oh, this is not for a creative journal. I believe she had mentioned it might be for like a photo journal where she prints out photos and puts in memories and stuff like that. So we are not going to add in a bunch of boxes and things like that because I want the space to be wide open so she can place the photos where she wants them and not be constrained to wherever I end up putting boxes. So it's just going to be the doors and not, you know, a huge amount of other stuff. Okay. So she chose this 8x8. We are going to do a hot air balloon theme, which I've got here, but I wanted to add some other stuff with it to make it whimsical and playful and fun. So I thought some of these tapes would be really fun. I got these from Journal Say recently, and especially the purple, the blues, and the pinks I think will go really nicely with this theme. So these will be the tapes that we'll use with it. I also thought one of the themes in Dutch Doors Volume 1 would be nice. This is sold out, guys. We've restocked it once already. It is sold out, but the printables are available over in my Etsy shop. But I thought the dragonflies would look really nice. So we've got dragonflies here. The colors go really well together. I thought these would look really good together. So we're going to use those as well. And then she said playful, bright, sunny. I thought it would be fun to kind of make a sunset that matches like this little thing out of distress inks. So we will pick out some distress inks and make a sunset through a window. So let's figure this out. I don't really know how it's all going to come together yet. I just have all these different ideas in my mind, and we'll see. And like super playful and whimsical because obviously the hot air balloons would not really be the same size as the dragonflies, and it's just playful and whimsical and fun. That is all. All right, so the journal she picked out is from Tiffany. If you love Tiffany or Journal Say, code Amy Plans Things will save you at both sites on your purchase. Let's get this out. Can we save this little box, or is it going to rip as we open it up? These boxes are always really tight, and I found, okay, we're going to rip this part and see if we can get it out like that. I found they don't really hold up, so when I'm shipping it to Tiffany, it might be wrapped up in like bubble wrap or something like that instead. We'll see. Okay, this is a beautiful purple cover Tree of Life, and so it kind of feels like faux leather or something like that. It's beautiful. It has gold foil on the sides. It comes with a little bookmark, so I will leave that here for Tiffany. And then it has 160 GSM paper, dot grid, which is my normal. And it's got 2 bookmarks. It's got a pocket in the back and the strap and pen loop. So this is just a gorgeous notebook. That's the bookmark. Okay. I was like, what's that sticking out? All right. So I'm going to put this to the side so we don't accidentally cut off any ends or anything. And let me think about what order we might want to do some things in. So we've got all of these. I'm just laying everything out so I can see it. And let's also pick out some colors of distress ink. Let me just hold that down. Okay, so we do want a yellow. I think mustard seed is going to be better. And then looking at the colors in the sky, we've kind of got like an orange color. So let's use spice. These are pretty close. I haven't really used carved pumpkin much. Let's use carved pumpkin. Then a pink. Let's go with picked raspberry, one of my favorites. And then, oh, I need a purple. Okay, so grabbing my purple container. And this one's really dark. Let's do Wilted Violet. Okay, we're gonna go with those for our distress ink. All right, okay. So how this is gonna work, we're gonna start here so that we can decorate this side too. And we're gonna do a window first, but I'm not sure what size the window will be yet. And we're gonna make it a scene. We're gonna do a sunset behind the window. We can do a sunset over here and have some of these mini hot air balloons in the scene. They are on paper stickers, so we'll see the white border, but that's okay. It's still fun and whimsical. So let's, with the window, what kind of Dutch door do I want the window to have? Since we're gonna do a window like here, then add a few doors. Do I want, so behind it, we're gonna see the little spread. What if we do a window using some of the travel stuff? Like, okay, so not all, I did not do this when I was setting these up. These are such old pieces, by the way. These were from a couple years ago, prior to me manufacturing items. So they were only printable, or if you were on Patreon, that was the only place you could get things sent to you, and I print and cut at home. So these weren't set up all for Dutch doors. So I don't have matching stickers right now of that one, but I do have these, which are the same size. And the clouds are mirror imaged. So let's do that. Yeah, that sounds great. What color tape do I want to use for the door, and what do I want for the window? Okay. Let's just pick out the tapes we're going to use. That one, this one, and I like the orange. Okay, so we'll go with those for now. We might pick something else. As you can see, when you get a whole tape roll at like a stationery site, look how small the amount of washi is. So always look at when you're buying stuff, like all the different rolls come with different amounts. Like, let's see, this one is Planny Thing. You can see there's a lot more tape on it. Let's see. Do I have any of my tapes sitting here? Yes, here's one of my tapes. You can see how much is on it. So always look at how long in length everything is, because that matters as you're looking at the price versus how big it is. Okay, we're going to, choices. We're going to use orange on the first one. And we're going to use these. Okay. So the window will want to be about here. So we'll put this first one here. I also want it big enough that we can, since it's for a photo journal, that she'll be able to get some photos in. And I know we all print photos at different sizes and all that kind of stuff. So some smaller photos might be able to fit in here. And then by the end, larger photos will fit. But it will all be good. I really like these tapes. They're like grid washi, but inside each square, it's like slightly different colors. So it looks kind of like a mosaic instead. Okay. And then we're gonna put this like that, so I can do just one of the stickers over the edge and I don't have to layer it exactly the same way. So before we cut this out, let's do the window. The window, let's use the purple for. And my question is, do we make it just a square, or do we add the little cross frame through the center? Let me think on that. But first, we're just gonna lay this out. Like so. I know it's layered over each other right now. That's with it. And of course, this page is not as useful for photos as other pages will be. It's just kind of like an intro page. With the window, you take up usable space. Let's do these corners and then decide if I want to add in a frame or not. Okay, so I need a little cutting tool. like a pen click tool, or oh my, here's a pen click tool. I have some upstairs right now in my pencil case. But these pen click tools are really great. They come in little like 4-packs on Amazon. And then you have them for a while. So if you lose one, you still have a few. Okay. Okay, so this is a nice big window. Where did our purple tape go? I'm losing everything. Really, where is it? Oh my God, it's right there. Okay, so the question is, are we gonna do this? I think that'll actually look really nice. So yes, let's do it. We are going to trim it this way. And we're also going to trim over where the sections cross because it's slightly see-through and I don't want the tapes to be like darker right there. I want it to all have the same kind of vibe. So just peel that up and it's like this part crosses in front of that part, or however you want to think about it. Okay. This is pretty cute so far. Okay. That's very cute. Okay, we're going to cut out this, and then we're going to cut this and go on from there. For this, it might be nice to cut with a ruler to make sure it's nice and straight. Yeah, this is way easier. I can cut really deeply so that it cuts all the way through, and I don't have to worry about it going straight. Woohoo! Doesn't fit as well that way, so we're going to go this way. Alrighty. Here we go. So it is summer break now for my daughter, and this week it was her last day of school on Wednesday, and then she was home with me on Thursday, Friday. So I barely got anything done. We did a lot of fun stuff to kick off the summer, though I am feeling it with not getting as much done as normal. 'Tis the season. She has a bunch of camps coming up, so I will have some nice productive days soon. But it's just going to be a little less productive here and there. My son has preschool all the way through end of July, and then he has a couple of little camps. So he's covered most of the summer, which is great. Look at that. That looks so good. So, like, we've got our window. Oh, my gosh. All right, now we can cut this one and continue on. All right, these are straight lines, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut them with scissors anyways. Usually on things that stick out like this, I'd use the gyro cut. But this is all still like straight lines. There we go. Look at that. That's so cool. All right, so we're going to fold it over and get the other side. Where is our purple? I'm going to get a little clippy to hold this down because it's so close at the beginning of the book that it just wants to lift up. That'll help us do all this better. I accidentally cut through the top of this one over here. So I'm gonna change this up a little bit and cut just a little bit past where it is to help hold it down a little bit. So I'm actually, let's see, we're gonna cut this one here just to help hold that down. And this one I'll trim right at the edge right now so it's not sitting underneath it. There. All right, now we can go through this stuff. Yeah, hey, stay there. So this one is gonna have a little bit layered over right there. But that's a necessity when you go a little bit over the page. Easy way to fix any issues. Hold it together just a little bit. Okay, just trying to trim all these things. And then right there, and right there. Okay. Awesome. That one I need to trim again. It didn't go all the way through, so we'll get to that in a minute. Let's try to pick up the rest of these though. So many little scraps. Okay, that one also wants a second try. There we go. And there we go. There's a little, there we go. Okay. Window is done. Get everything organized again. Let's get this one here. And before we do anything else, because I want to make sure we use the stuff that we need on the windows to make these little scenes, we are going to do those first, which means we need to do some distress ink. Now, normally I go ahead and just like ink across the entire page. I think that's often a really good look. I think here, because they're little windows and we want to leave room for photographs or however Tiffany is going to use this, I think we're going to go ahead and block off the area so that we can use it as like a little scene that doesn't bleed out over the rest of the page. First, this just goes here. It's a little bit bigger right there. I'm going to trim that tiny little white part that hung over the edge. There. All right. So in order to block it off to not get Distress ink anywhere else, what we're going to use is a thick piece of washi, just any washi tape. We're going to peel this up in a little bit, so it doesn't need to be something that you love. Just grab a washi tape that you have a lot of. You can also use like frog tape or blue tape, like painter's tape. I'm just making sure that it doesn't, like, we don't see it when it's like this, so that this entire thing is a seam. Cool. Yeah, right there. Okay, so that's this side. And we're going to do one over here as well. So kind of like painting a wall, you're just protecting the edges so that you have a nice crisp line when you're done. Okay. Yes, okay. All right, and we're gonna kind of go back and forth because we have a bunch of colors to do and we're gonna blend it. And I'm gonna look at this and try to kind of follow that pattern for colors. I am not going to make a bright sun like that. I'm gonna have it just be at the horizon, like it's just dipped below the horizon. If you wanted to create a bright sun that had like this crisp edge, you would cut out a piece of paper and make a circle and do it within it. But do we want to do that? Maybe we do want to do that. Okay, we want to do that. Okay, so we have our perfect circle. We need a pencil or a pen. Why do I have nothing? That's a fabric pen. I mean, I suppose we could use the fabric pen or the CD marker pen. Okay, we're just gonna draw a circle, and it's not pretty, doesn't need to be pretty. We're gonna cut this now, and we're gonna have our two parts. You're going to need both parts, so don't throw away either of them. We're going to start with the sun and put it right here. We will need more tape to hold it in place. Do we want it to the left or the right, or right in the middle? It could be like this, or it could be in the middle, in which case I need to trim this paper. Let's do this one right in the middle. Okay, so this is just going to hold it down a little bit so it doesn't move as you're doing this. All right. We're going to make this nice and bright. And there's our sun. Look at that. Okay, we're going to do it on this side too, but we're going to make it a little different so they're not all the same. So now we need to trim this again for the other side. And we're going to make it like much less sun. Let's hold it like that and see what this looks like. Let's raise it up a tiny bit. Yeah, okay. we're going to do it just like that. Get it nice and pigmented before moving on. All right, now you might wonder, how do you keep everything else off the sun? This is where this comes in. So I'm going to make a little loop of washi and stick it on one side of it, okay? So it's like going to hold it down right where it is. And you want to try to line it up as close as you can to it. This washi tape isn't sticking too well. Let's get a fresh piece. You want to line it up as close as you can to the edge of the sun, because you don't want to go over it with a new color, and you also don't want a big white gap between the sunset and the sun. So lining it up is kind of the hardest part. And then just to make sure we do it really well, I'm gonna tape it right here as well, just to support it. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a tiny light bit of yellow to start this off, like it's expanding, but it's not gonna be as pigmented as the sun underneath. Okay, we will come back to this other page. No, we'll go back. No, I have to cover the sun again then. We'll go to that page in a minute. We're gonna keep with this side first, because I don't want to have to keep moving my sun back and forth. Okay, other distressings. We are following this sunset kind of vision. And I am just blending, blending, blending. We've got some good orange in there. Get a little oranger right in there. And then we're going to move into our pink. So as I do this, I do notice a little bit of tape is coming up on the corners. Sometimes when you cut the corners of the washi tape into like points, there isn't as much stick like on the tape. So you sometimes need to use a double-sided tape to tape that all down. So I'm going to do that in a minute. I think it'll just be good so that Tiffany doesn't have to deal with the tapes coming up at all. I might do that off camera though, just because I don't want to take the time to do every single corner with y'all. All right, here's our little sunset. Blending it all together. And let's get the tiniest bit of yellow again, just to kind of blend in with the orange here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now, look at that. And let's just peel this up so you can see this, and then we'll do the other side. We have these nice crisp lines for our sunset scene. That looks so cool. All right. And there's our sunset in there. Nice. Okay, let's get this one layered as best we can with it. And then we'll go for it. Okay, a little light yellow for a minute. We'll do the orange and then we'll come back again with that yellow like we did in the last one. Maybe this one will make it darken quicker. So we're just going to do that much orange and then do a thin little pink section and then do a lot more purple and get it darker up top just so they're a little different. also the sun is lower in the sky on this side, so I suppose that makes sense. Okay. Blend it in together. Another reason to do one at a time is it does blend better when it's not like completely dry. I mean, it's not going to smear, but it just blends nicer when you do it more quickly. Okay, last little bit of yellow, and then all the distress ink is done. Let's move all this out of the way, see what we've got. There's our little sun. So much fun. All right. If you're doing this in your planner, doing distress ink things, note that if you are pulling the tape up off the edges where it's been cut, you may rip like the top of the paper just because that where it's been cut is a little more sensitive. So be careful peeling your tape in a planner. Okay, that is so cool. Look at that. That is so much fun. Okay, so we are going to grab some of these guys and put them into the sky. And some clouds. Yeah, let's do some clouds in there. Not many. Maybe just like one. And we are going to do this because we are using white paper on it anyways. Hey, why don't you want to stick on top of the distress ink? You go. That is a new one. You guys, I'm always real with you. So I use the online labels matte photo paper for some reason. That one sticker right there does not want to stick. Maybe it's the distress ink, maybe it's the bend in the page. But the fact that that peeled up right away, I'm just gonna put some extra sticky on this. That's so weird. Okay. I use the online labels matte photo paper, and I've never seen that happen. But that's better. Okay. Let's try it with one of these and see what happens. So is it the distress ink? Or I think it's the distress ink, you guys. That is so weird. Okay, so on the distress ink, I am going to, hey, stay there. I am going to tack it down with, all right, guys, so this is new, a problem. I peeled these up again. They weren't sticking very well with this. I tested one of them on here. It sticks super nicely. So online labels paper doesn't work well over distress ink. I'm going to let these sit and let them dry and not use any of the small hot air balloons until this has dried a little bit, okay? So we're just going to do that and see what happens. But we do need to create a Dutch door page here. And yes, let's go ahead and do this one. Do I want to do dragonflies and then hot air balloons? Or maybe I don't even want to do dragonflies. I do like them a lot. I do like them. Choices, guys. Thinking about other Dutch door stickers and bright, whimsical things we could add. because she wants bright and happy and playful. I think this does fit the bill with the dragonflies themselves. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this one, which matches with that one pretty well. So we'll use that one. So we'll use that one on the back side. I'm also going to grab a cloud. My Cricut did not do a great job at cutting this time. So I'm having to help some of the stickers get off the page. It's the downside of using a Cricut. Sometimes the blades aren't super sharp, or your cutting mat gets old and it doesn't do the trick. So I need to go get a new cutting mat, I think, but that's all right. All right, let's see. We're gonna put this here, and I put the image down first, so we'll just trim the washi tape over it. And just like that. Perfect. All right, we'll figure out the scene at the end. If I have to glue things on, I'll glue things on. I usually, when I do distress inks, I use PET tapes over it because they've got that white ink base. And then they're really sticky. They're stickier than Online Labels sticker paper, apparently. Too many cutting tools sitting out. For this part, I will use my gyro cut because it's nice for the rounded stuff. And then we'll use my scissors. And now that I think about it, I can use the pink before we put down anything else, and that'll work well. Okay. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I'm really bad at not sharing everything, so I'm not going to share right now, and it's very difficult, but I'm very excited about everything that's coming up soon. Okay. This sticker is one that was not cut very well through, and I want to pick you up. Let's help cut it out a little bit. Come on. There we go. What was going on with you, Cricut? All right. So if you ever buy printable stickers and they're not set up for Dutch doors, but you want to use them anyways, like some of my earlier stickers or stickers from other shops that aren't specifically mirror imaged, you can always, you get them in like PNG files, so it's like this one thing in your Cricut software, or just on the preview app on your computer, whatever you use, you can flip the image. So you can print it one way and then flip the image and print the other way, and then you have stickers for Dutch doors. Just so you know, any sticker you can do it with. So that's pretty fun. All right, what if we do like a whole dragonfly set right here? Let's just see what it would look like. But what if we do the little ones? I feel like that might be better to use little ones. And if that's the case, these match, these match, these match, these match. So we could do 4. We could do 4. Except, no, I have my own 2 copies. Let's see if I've used the others. Yeah, I've used the others. Okay, we could do 4. We could add in some other things. Let's just put in the 4 dragonflies, see what it looks like. Decide from there. I'm kind of laying them out so they're a little bit spaced out. And then up there can be that last one. Going like this. Okay, so if we do that, I think that looks better than the large dragonflies. They're still not to scale, obviously. Do I want some flowers in there? We have a whole bunch of smaller flowers. I think the flowers would look nice. Let's try it. Just these like top down ones. I think they'll look the nicest. Let's go right here with one. That's the matching one. These 2 have matching ones. And then these ones match. So then our door can get a little more exciting by having all this other stuff going on. And then if we're doing that, we need to fill right there as well. Maybe we do one of the ones like this so that we can get it to move like this. So the question then is, what do I do there? Okay, changing things up again. We can always move stickers. That's the fun thing. Okay. Fitting everything together. Okay, that one's pointing down, that one's pointing up. I kind of like that. But, okay, we're just moving all the stickers. The bigger one's going to go in here, and the smaller one will fit better for this flower to fit in here. And then that one, we're going to put in another one of these. So then it kind of goes like this. This one still has a tiny little gap there. We'll fill something in with that in a minute. Let's get this cut out and get the other side done first and then see what we have left. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks really whimsical. We have the purples in there. It adds a little bit more with that teal, because we do have a teal, I guess it's more blue, but the blue on the wings kind of pulls together. All right, cutting mat. Then we'll get another big balloon on another one of these. Awesome. Now let's fill it in, starting with clipping this down. Okay, so now let's get in all these matching dragonflies. Just looking for, you know, the one that matches and just placing it down. This part should be quick and easy. It's gonna stick to my finger. All right, so then this is where the paper sticker is. Let's go ahead and match that. Okay, and then this one, I think is that one. Not that it really matters because they're all kind of the same size and shape. There we go. Another small one. And then these. Okay. We do have one last, like top down. Oh, that one I got over the edge a little bit. Let's recenter that one better. All right, we have one more of these little ones, which I'm going to put right here because we had that little gap. Look how cool that's looking now. Okay, curious. Is this dry enough? Is it going to stick better? Or is it peeling up a lot? I think it's sticking better. Okay, so when Distress ink is wet, it's not doing as well. Okay, let me just, since this one's peeling, I'm just going to show you how I do this. Then I'm going to go do all the rest of these off camera because the video doesn't need to be long enough. I get tape on the back side of it for those little sharp corners and just place it down and then peel away any extra tape that's like on it. You can just roll your finger and you'll peel up all the extra double-sided tape. So I'm going to go through and get all the corners because they're sharp little points and I don't want them to peel. Some of them felt like they were pretty secure, but I got all the ones that felt like they were coming up. This little part of the sticker had peeled as we were trying to figure out what was going on, so I'm going to stick that one down too. And again, just roll off any excess tape. All right. Let's try putting another of these down and see what happens. Let's have it here. Is it going to peel up? Feels pretty good. Okay, let's get one more in the sky here. Let's do a pink because there's pink down here and it would look nice. And we're gonna have this one coming up above, kind of like that cloud's going out. I kind of like breaking the fourth wall in this and having some of the stuff stick out. Let's go ahead and do that over here too. Let's put down 2 clouds on this one. If I can peel them up. We have a cloud there. Let's put a cloud here. Then get another cloud and put it over here. Yeah, okay. And then we'll go ahead and grab the yellow balloon, looking at what we've done over here and what we haven't done. Let's use a purple one. And we'll have yellow up here away from the sun and purple closer to the sun. Do I want it more centered or do I want it to the left? Let's do like that. Very cool. Okay, that's looking really fun. We need another Dutch door with a large sticker. So some of these match, like these ones match pretty well. That one also matches. These two match decently. This one doesn't really match because the little bow's sticking off. Let's go ahead and do these ones and do the purple on the front to kind of pull together the purple and all of that. We have one more set of clouds ready for Dutch doors because we've used a lot of it. So which one do I want? I think I want this one. And the cloud was at the bottom of that one, so let's put the cloud at the top like this one. And it'll stick out. It's going to stick out a little bit far. I think that'll be cool. There we go. What color? We have not used the blue, so we're going to use the blue tape. And try to line it up so it goes like right here so we can see it most of the way. There might be a little gap like right in here, but it'll be pretty close. Just trying to decide where. How about there? All right, so let's take a look at how much like gap there is. Oh, that's very little. Look at that. Good. Okay. Cool. If you're new to printables and you want to learn how to print and cut at home, I do have a tutorial from a long time ago. Maybe it's time to do a new one, but it talks about the print settings you want to use. It talks about how to print on your home computer, how to cut once you've printed it out. So if you have a Cricut, there's a little tutorial. I don't have a Silhouette, so I didn't give a tutorial on that. I also talk about cutting by hand if you don't have a cutting machine. So I'll try to find that video and link it down below if you're new to the printable thing. Because it is a great way to get some new stickers that you can manipulate for Dutch doors. Because not every sticker works with Dutch doors. So it's just another way to add to your set of things that you can use. Okay. I like the way that one looks with the little cloud sticking out. Okay, we can do this one now that we know exactly where it's going. Okay. Here's our little cloud. And we were going to do the rainbow one on the back. Look at how cute that looks. Okay. So we've got that many. Now the question is, do we do like a little spread with some big dragonflies and some other stuff going on. So, or do we just do a collage on the back with the dragonflies and the other stuff? Because we don't have a ton of stickers left for Dutch doors in this. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll make a collage on this side too, but we might do that a little different. Okay. We have 2 large balloons left, but we have 2 small balloons here. We're going to use those on this side. Let's use the large balloons as part of our collage on the back side. And grab a couple of clouds as well. I'm just grabbing a lot of things right now because I'm not sure where I'm going to place them. I'm kind of making a little place to hold them all on my finger. All right, so we have purple here, so I kind of want purple like down here off the side of the page, and then blue can be up here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, then we'll put a cloud coming out like this, and we'll get some dragonflies in here just to pull this part into the rest of the spread too. So it's just going to be a whimsical little collage filled with lots of different things. We do need one of the different dragonflies, so let's grab this one, and it'll actually look really great coming right here. I think that's enough dragonflies, but let's add some flowers or some of the other things. Oh, we also have a big pink balloon. We have a telescope, we have a compass, we have a map, we have the suitcase. There's a lot of things we have here. Let's think about it. Just looking at what flowers we have left. Okay, I kind of want to put the bottom of this flower here. A little bit of green will peek out. But we've already got the green on the dragonflies. But it's just a good spot for it. Have that there. We might be able to use the other part of that once we trim it. We have a gap here. Yeah, let's go ahead and take that and just put it right there to fill the last part of this side of the collage. And then we need to figure out the front side. I have a couple ideas. I might need to just gather a couple more supplies though. I'm just gonna put the flower like that because I can. I'm gonna trim everything and then we'll think about the other page. And as I mentioned, we are not gonna put boxes into this one because I don't know what type of photographs or size of photographs that Tiffany's going to put into this. So what I'm going to do instead is, because I don't want her to not have boxes if she wants to write with it, what I'm going to do is take out this page of stickers, or the other, I have 2 different pages of stickers, okay? This one is for with the hydrangeas and ladybugs, but it may match better with the purple and the pink rather than the purple and the purple. But this color may match better. Maybe I'll include both the boxes. I may just tear out the pages and put them in so that she can put in the boxes once she puts in photographs. If she wants boxes. She may not want boxes. So yeah, I think I'll include some boxes for Tiffany so she can place them where she wants them, because it's a very specific purpose, this journal, and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, I need to gather some supplies. I have an idea for this, so I need to go find that, and then we'll be right back. All right, what we're going to do is take my favorite tape ever, which is the script tape. It's just a white tape, and it has the script lettering on it. And it just looks really nice. So the problem is it's not quite wide enough. So, come on, tear. Do I put 2 rows of it? Or do I just decorate? Or let it be plain? So here's one option. Is we do it like this and layer a few other stickers around it coming off of it. And just let it do what it does. Or we do a second row. Let me just... I really like the way that looks. We're going to go with this. There's just something really nice about having a bright pink or any solid color of washi tape acting as a border on this. And then the paper stickers will be perfect to layer over it so that we can put in some of these other things throughout the spread over there to pull it all together. Okay. But this is just a quick, big way to fill up a lot of space so that if we don't collage everything, it's still going to look really great. So the question is, I love this, but we don't have a lot of brown in the spread, and I think it won't look as good. I do want to get the other Polaroid. We will use that, and I'm just going to put it like down here, like that. And I do want to use one or two dragonflies. We're going to use the paper stickers because of having this down. We're just going to do it like that so that it, you know, pulls together a little bit. Then we have a cloud and these two that we're going to use as well. If I can pick them up. Poor Cricket. I definitely need to throw away that cutting mat and get a new one. Okay, this one we're just going to put right in the middle. And then this one we'll have hanging off from the bottom. I think that'll look nice. It's ripping now, but that part's going to be over the edge, so that's okay. All right. And that part I ripped too. I didn't even bother doing it like nicely to save because I'm not using all of it. I'm putting it like this. All right. And then cloud. Cloud here, cloud there. I think cloud there will look nicest, but then we have nothing here. Is it okay that we have nothing there? Or do we put in, first of all, let's do this one up a little bit so they're not completely even. And we can have some gaps, guys. White space is okay. That said, white space, is it okay? Or do we want the rainbow one like floating off over here? Or like that. We've got another rainbow one there. There's this kind of gap with it. You know, I don't think we need it. I think it looks great without it. I don't want to make it too cluttered. All right, this was an unexpected pairing, but I really wanted to lean into the bright, colorful qualities that Tiffany said she wanted. And she specifically mentioned my own stickers, like specifically the hot air balloons and stuff. So I thought it was fun to lean into my other art as well. And it's fun to do unexpected pairings. That was cool. Maybe I'll try to find more unexpected pairings to feature in the future. All right. So I think we're good here. As I said, I'm going to give Tiffany a few pages of box stickers so that she can choose where the boxes go based on the photos that she's putting in here. And if she decides to use this for a different purpose instead, she can then put the boxes in how she wants as well, just to make sure that it's fitting her vision perfectly. All right, so there we go. Lots of space for photos and things like that. This is really cool. I love how this turned out. Let me know what you guys think about this unexpected pairing. All right, thanks so much for watching. Tiffany, I hope you love this, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.